Hello, everyone. This is Felicia Bender, the Practical Numerologist, with your numerology forecast for the three personal year for April 2023. So, first of all, if you are new to numerology and you're unsure what this forecast is based on, it is based on your personal year in numerology. It's not based on your life path number. So, those are two entirely different things in numerology. So if you're unsure what your personal year might be, take just a brief moment, go to the description box. There's a calculator there, there's an explanation so that we make sure that you're at the right place at the right time. If you want to know more about your life path number, lots of free resources at feliciabender.com. But this forecast right now, right here, right now, is based on your personal year. All right. So we are going to get right to it. If you're in a three personal year, April is a seven personal month. All right. So you're like, okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about a three and we're talking about a seven. Where are we going with this? All right. The three personal year is what you're dealing with or working with or being supported by all year long. So that is a 12 months of personal year energy that is guided by the number three. Now, each month you get to have a different energy. It's kind of like points of destination that you stop off on in this little road trip that you're on in your personal year. So each month has a different experience, a different flavor to it because you're being offered different opportunities and supportive energies during this time. So that's basically how to begin to understand how this forecast begins to unfold for you. All right. So this is a month for you to take a time out. Okay. Time out this month, all you in your three personal year, which is all about kind of self-improvement and fun and this kind of more frenetic, gregarious energy. So this is going to be a little bit lower energy for you. It's going to be time to kind of recalibrate, step it back a little bit, and refresh your direction. So I'm starting out this month for this month's forecast with quotes. I don't know, sometimes it's nice to kind of frame things that way for you. So here is a quote for you this month, and let's see if I can pronounce it correctly. So I probably won't, and if I don't, forgive me, but I'm giving it my best go. All right. So Jungen or Yugen, Yugen is the word, and it is a noun. It is a Japanese word, and it is and the meaning of this is a profound awareness of the universe that triggers feelings too deep and mysterious for words. Hmm. So really, if you think about it, the seven of your month is very deep spiritual contemplation. And so this Japanese word really does give you kind of a container for what you're working with or what might be percolating inside for you this month. So it is really prep time, uh, hover mode, not hover mode. I don't want to say it that way. It's prep time, it's contemplation time, it's research time, it's analyzing time. It's time to step back and digest. All right. It's really right here in the midst of that social, creative three personal years. So it might feel a little bit wonky. Okay. So be prepared for that. And yet, they're not. They do coexist in so far as the three of your year is asking you to get more up close and personal with your emotions and with maybe some emotional trauma that is coming up to be healed. So this is a if you are in your three personal year and this resonates with you, I please, this is your golden ticket this month to take the time to go get the added time for the therapy or for whatever it is that you're engaged with that's going to help you move through that. This is the perfect month for that. So think also of April as an extended moment for a retreat. It could be an actual retreat or simply time and space that you carve out for yourself within your day to day responsibilities, right? Just take a moment and you don't have to apologize. You just have to go and earmark some time for you. All right. And I would also ask you in your three personal year, and at this stage, as you head into April, are you undergoing a total revamp in your life at the moment? Do you feel the need to reconfigure maybe your entire squad, right? Who you surround yourself with? All of those things. Are you looking and kind of wanting to pick and choose, wanting to make some decisions around that? If this is the case, this is a great month to act upon these decisions and determinations with a bit more conviction, maybe. Yet also know that you're still gathering intel and information right now and going through that processing digestion period. So next month you can implement what you're evaluating right now. So don't really push it this month. Next month, implementation. This month, processing and making your notes, right? Literally or figuratively, doing that, doing your research. Okay. So between April 9th and 27th, you'll spend some time by yourself, contemplating, studying with hopefully some minimal interruption. So this slowdown fits the bill with the energy of your more contemplative month of April. So see if you can find a way to maybe take a moment to travel for a fresh jolt of energy that kind of collides with your three personal year, and then offers that open door for the energy of the seven to allow you to I don't know, just give yourself some free space, okay? Some free space in your disk drive, which is your head, mind, body, spirit, right? So even if it's a close by weekend jaunt, day trip, it doesn't have to be, a 3-week excursion. Just something to kind of get you out of your basic routine and into allowing yourself to ponder just a moment. So it really is funny because I'll use this story as an example for the energy that you're involved in with April, because I saw a video one time with author Joyce Carol Oates. Where she once observed that people who want to be writers don't fail because they're not good at writing. She was like, they don't fail because they're bad writers. She says that people fail to be productive or good at writing because they get interrupted by other people and they allow those interruptions to take precedence. So it's kind of interesting to think about it that way, right? It's like, oh, well, yeah, if I put my writing time or whatever it is for you on my calendar as a drop dead, gotta show up meeting rather than as an optional whatever, things will probably get done a little more consistently, right? So it's one of those months where you can ponder that and think about putting your downtime into your calendar and prioritizing it in a way that you would prioritize other meetings. So, anyway, I'm not sure if you agree with what Joyce Carol Oates says, and yet it really is to me an interesting train of thought that you might guide you during this contemplative seven personal month. So do make sure, I'm going to, say it again, to take the time you need to work on whatever you've got going on the creative projects. Maybe you have some creative projects you need a little more time. Don't let it could be creative projects. It could be your own healing right now, your own healing work. Maybe you need to do some of that and have some time and space for that. All kinds of other things, but those are two examples, and that of what you could need to be extending more of your time and energy toward this month without allowing other people's wants and needs to really get in your way. And of course, this is within reason, okay? But oftentimes we'll put our needs to the side if other people are making demands. So it's always a delicate balance, and yet this is a month to put yourself first in that way. Remember that three personal year is all about bringing those creative projects into form, whether it's a book, maybe it's an online course, a series of music, songs, screenplay. I don't know, your line of jewelry, ceramics, painting, any other creative or artistic project that you might be in the midst of birthing. So, if you are a creative and you are birthing a project, you are working on that project, this is a great time to take a little retreat to actually focus on it and do it. And if you're not working on a creative project per se, right? You're like, well, I'm not an artist it's most likely the creative project that you're actually working on right now is, drum roll please, is you, right? You are your most creative project. And perhaps it's you, perhaps it's something business related that you wouldn't initially think was something creative, and yet if you really look at it, probably is. Everything stems from a creative process. So certainly this year has been an exploration and an expansion of yourself in ways that are perhaps surprising, hopefully in a way that causes some delight and pleasure, and an expansion into who you really are, right? An alignment with your more authentic nature. That is the goal. That is the energy that is supporting you during a three personal year. So, also part of that three personal year is that you're dealing with a lot of emotions. And the energy of the month has the potential to possibly tweak a bit of your shadow side a little bit more than you might like. You could very well feel very alone right now, hurt by what other people do or don't do, or say or don't say. So it can be a time to really evaluate your emotional boundaries, right? All of those things can come in this month as well, all in a good way, but it might not feel like good at the bit as you're doing it, and yet the working through it is part of the process of doing better and being better around those issues, right? So around April 18th, please take some time to assess personal problems, maybe some issues that you've been working on, maybe a new awareness that you've recently developed. Often in your three personal year, you're opening to new modalities, new stuff. I mean, if you're new here and this is one of the first numerology videos you're looking at, it's kind of like that. Numerology, astrology, conscious breathing. I mean, anything. There's just such a grab bag of beautiful modalities that you could be exploring in your three personal year. So this is most likely the arrow is pointing toward expressing yourself and your deeper and messier, right? The messy emotions. So don't hold it in. This is the time to get it out on the table. So also understand that some spiritual matters, however you kind of define spiritual, right? But some higher level matters or issues or thoughts may need your attention right now. That's the seven. It's bringing some of that in. However, you personally might define that. So to me, it simply means that there are some higher level issues taking the front seat right now, and these may be somewhat difficult to pen down. Right? We go back to our quote. It's like some of these things may be unspeakable. It's hard to put words around them, but you know how deep and how resonant they are with you personally. So engage yourself in those mysterious and inexplicable feelings. This is the month to step into some of the more hidden and the buried aspects of yourself. Shine a little light on them, right? See if they squint at you. So those issues might kind of look at you and try to shield themselves from view. And yet, if you tread slowly, mindfully, they'll open up to you when it's safe to step out of those shadows, right? So it's that slow process of building trust within yourself and allowing those to come to the forefront. So just be sure that you don't run away from your feelings and retreat from opening yourself up to the vulnerabilities that might come into play. As you experience maybe a few little pain points this month, because it is going to pay off exponentially We're always life is full of these moments where we get to practice moving into these things and not avoiding the discomfort or even the pain that it might present to us. So use this time to process, sit with your feelings and experiencing and experiences without labeling them. That I have a dear friend and conscious breath work facilitator, amongst many other things. Zach Rader, he's an intuitive healer. He does all kinds. He's amazing. And he always says this very simple statement after facilitating a group breathwork session, and it applies to you this month. So I'm going to quote Zach here. He says something, and I'm loosely paraphrasing, but he'll say something of this nature. He'll say, "You'll experience a lot of weird stuff coming up for the next several weeks. And rather than place a story to it or a meaning around it or an explanation, I encourage you to stop and ask yourself, what if this doesn't mean what I think it means? Hmm. And then just sit with that and see what unfolds." These are really wise words for you this month of April and beyond, because we place stories around things and that embeds in us these stories, right, that trigger us. So, what if it really doesn't even mean what you think it means? I recently had I recently had an experience with a family member that years ago there was something that was done. I mean, I got a letter from someone that was very difficult. Let's just put it that way. And years later, I actually spoke with this family member and said, "Hey, I the last time we engaged, it was after you wrote. It was that you wrote me this letter." And she was like, "Oh my God, I don't even remember that." She said it must have been blah blah blah. It's like, so and I've been carrying that as my story around her and around her. She doesn't even remember it, right? And so how powerful is that to just go, oh, let that go. You can totally let that go. And I'm using that as a very real example of how we hold on to things, have the story, and we use it to as a negative, right? And as a negative story. So, what if we could release that and not have that as a negative story anymore? How about that? So, this month is offering you some of those experiences if you choose to look at it that way. So, that is your monthly numerology forecast for April. In your three personal year, you get this contemplative, spiritually charged energy of the seven this month. So enjoy that. I'll be eager to see you back here on the channel next month to see what May has in store for you.